Hello Chatterbox out there, it's a brand new week, so you know what that means. Lots of new adventures to be had, and I'm going to be taking you guys along on my adventures that I get up to. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are all having a lovely start to your week. I've got Monday and Tuesday off. I'm not in work till Wednesday evening, so it meant I got to have a lie-in and not have to set any alarms. I then got up and got showered and changed and had some toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast. Just watched a bit of TV, just a bit of music, and just some drawing, colouring in. I was watching some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos, and then I was just tidying up my office and my dolls and dollhouse and just watching some episodes of Doctor Who. And I was going to be going to my town's castle for afternoon tea with Tash, and it was Easter themed, so I was so excited for that. And I was then just listening to a bit of music and just chilling before heading off to the castle to meet Tash, and she was running a little bit late, so I got there first, and I got in there and got shown to where we were having our afternoon tea, and Tash shortly arrived and we had our Easter themed afternoon tea, and they brought the tray with all the cakes and sandwiches in, and I got a snap of that. It looked so good. The macaroons that the bunnies on, all the sandwiches and beautiful cakes, so pretty. And then the lady who was coming over to give us refills of our drinks got snaps of me and Tash sat in the little window area where we were having our afternoon tea, and she got a photo of us with some bunny ears on that I got from the child shops as a little surprise, and gave a pair to Tash and a pair from me. And I got one snap with us with the rabbit ears on and one without, and I'm sure you guys see. This snap turned out really well, and then we finished off our afternoon tea and we were both well and truly stuffed, and it was so good. And then after that I went around the lounges where we were having our afternoon tea and got some snaps around there. Let me show you guys. So pretty around there. I love all the tapestries and the chandeliers. I'd love to do a tour of the castle someday. Maybe me and Tash will have to do that sometime. And we were then chatting all things about our trip to Brighton, which is next month, and I'm so excited with that. Cannot wait. Love spending time with Tash. We're literally soulmates. We both like the same thing. We're literally like the same person, and always have so much fun hanging out with her. And then she got a snap of me with my bunny ears on, and I'm going to show you guys that. Not only is she my best friend, she's also my personal photographer. She always gets such great snaps of me. And then we had a look around the gardens, and I got some snaps of the castle. Let me show you guys. It's such a beautiful castle with the water fountain in the courtyard as well, and we were having a lovely walk around there, enjoying the sunshine and blue skies. It was a little bit gloomy first of all, so I was wearing a jumper and some trousers because it was quite chilly, and then it got quite warm and I was absolutely melting, and definitely should have worn a t-shirt, but the jumper I was wearing I really liked and haven't worn it in ages, so we suffer for our fashion, eh? And then I got some flower snaps. They've got such pretty flowers in there. They all smell so good and have lovely colours on. And then me and Tash headed off, and I thanked her for a lovely afternoon tea, gave her a hug, and then I made my way back. And my aunt and cousins from Ireland who are over to stay, and my grandma and my older sister and older brother and his girlfriend were over for a party tea for my younger brother and sister for their birthday, and we had a little party tea, and I'm going to show you guys the party spread that we had. It was such a good party spread. There was so much food, and I was surprised I was able to eat anything considering how I just had the Easter food afternoon tea, but I did manage to have a little bit of food. And then we were playing some games in the garden, and then we had the giving of the cards and birthday presents for my younger brother and sister, and then we had some birthday cake, and we brought out the birthday cake and sang happy birthday, and I'll show you guys a snap of the birthday cake. My grandma had got that birthday cake with the photo especially put on there of my younger brother and sister when they were teeny tiny. They were cute at some point, and it's just such a beautiful cake, and it was very delicious as well. And then we were playing some games in the garden and had such a lovely evening playing out in the sunshine. And then my grandma and my aunt and cousins went home, and my older sister stayed for a little bit, and then she headed home as well. And then my older brother and his girlfriend headed back to theirs as well. I stayed with my younger brother and his girlfriend, and I thanked them for a lovely day, and they all headed off, and chatted with my younger brother and sister and just wishing them a lovely day, and glad they had a good day. Cannot believe they're both 26 now. We're all just getting so old. And yeah, it was just such a lovely day celebrating, and I'm now off to go and finish my time on my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching today's Home and Away and UK soaps, and I'll see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Tuesday, and I got up ready to go off for a trip to the mall with my aunt and cousins, and I had some breakfast and just watched a bit of TV, and then me and my mum collected my aunt and cousins from my grandma's where they've been staying, and we then headed off to the mall, and then we headed off to have a look around some of the shops. And in one of the shops I came across this Dolly Parton or kids playbook, which I thought was awesome. Showing the youngsters who Dolly Parton is at an early age was a very good idea, and I'll show you guys the snap I got of that. My cousin was like, "Who's Dolly Parton?" So I gave her a quick little backstory about Dolly. Absolute icon. I mean, everyone needs to know who she is. She is the Queen of Country. And then we had a look at some more of the shops, and I got some bits and pieces here and there. I wasn't too bad. I was actually quite restrained for me. I love to shop, a bit of a shopaholic, but I've been getting a lot better at not buying just for the hell of it. And then we went off to get some lunch from the food court, and we ended up getting some Burger King, and I had a chicken bacon Whopper burger with some chili bites and some chips, and I'll show you guys. The food was so good. We then went off to have a look at some more of the shops. I went into quite a lot of shops, went to a lot of clothes shops, and I picked out a dress for my older cousin, and my aunt was quite surprised, and I was like, I've got good taste when it comes to clothes, and she looked great in it. They tried on their clothes, and my younger cousin got some clothes as well. I was tempted to get a jumper, but I didn't need any more jumpers, so I did not, and that was from Fat Face, and it's so expensive in there, so I was glad I didn't get that. And then went off to H&M, John Lewis, New Look, Marks and Spencer's, and went into Typo and into Tiger, and while in Tiger I got a cute Mursafi. They said be unique, be you, and you know how much I love a Mursafi, so I couldn't resist. And then just before finishing up our day off in the mall, we stopped into M&S, and I love M&S, and I got some pink lemonade and got some Percy Pigs from there. And then my aunt got me these chocolate cookies, and we then also got some pain au chocolats, and I went off to the flower and plant section and got some flower stats from there. The plant section and flower section is huge. I was having a lovely look around there, and they have such beautiful flower bouquets in there with lovely colours on, and it smells so good. And had a look at the plant section as well. I got a snap of the plant section. We've got lovely patterns and succulents and cactuses, and had a look around there. And then we headed off to get picked up by my dad, and whilst waiting to get picked up, we sat on a bench, and my younger cousin went off and played in the park, which is just behind us, and I had my pain au chocolat whilst waiting to get picked up, and I'll show you guys that. It was so good. And on the back that it came in, it said "Love at First Bite," which made me chuckle because it made me think of Kylie's song "Love at First Sight," which is one of my favourite songs of hers. Then my dad came and picked us up, and we made our way back, and my dad dropped me off just down the road from us because there's roadworks going on our main road by our house, so he didn't want to be going on there getting caught in that, so he dropped me further along, and I went through the cut through, and he dropped my aunt and cousins back to my grandma's, and then he got my grandma and took her to a doctor's appointment, and then the girls were going off to get their nails done. And then I got in and I showed my mum and younger sister the things I got whilst at the mall, and I'm going to show you guys those now. Here's what I got while at the mall today with my aunt and cousins. I got this pan pot which has plants all over it, which is so cute, and I also got some gel pens, and on the front it says "Make Today Colourful," and it has 60 gel pens in, it has 12 glitter, 12 neon, 12 metallic, 12 pastel and 12 classic colouring gel pens, which I'll be able to use in my illustration book, which I've almost finished, and can't wait to use those on some of my illustrations that I haven't yet coloured in. And then I got this key ring to go on my bag, and it also has this really cute bee on, and it's so cute. And then I got these two things from M&S. I got some party pigs, gotta get someone going there, and some pink lemonade, and here's everything I got. I love that plant pot pen holder so much. I have already put that on my desk with some pens in, and can't wait to use those gel pens as well. And I've literally got like 2 or 3 pages left of my illustration book, so I'll be getting a new one soon. And that keyring is going to be going on my backpack with my many other keyrings, my new addition. I love keyrings and they're just so cool, especially the crocheted ones. I just find them so adorable. And then I was just sorting out my glitter doll into a new look, and I'm going to show you guys that. Here's my glitter doll's new look, starting off with the shoes. She's got these black boots on, some blue down jeans on, and a black jacket, and she's got this necklace on, which is a double shaded necklace, and this pretty leaf top with lots of different colours on, and her black hat, and this is the whole look. I love that leaf pattern top. It's actually a dress, but I put some trousers over top of it, and I love items of clothing like that where you could use it to put like trousers or shorts over the top of it and like mix and match the outfits, and always have so much fun doing that. I then had my tea, and because I'd had a Burger King lunch, I didn't have a big tea, so I just had a cheese and pickle toasty, and I'm going to show you guys that. The cheese and pickle toasty was so delicious. I haven't had a cheese and pickle toasty in so long. I also had some of my pink lemonade, which is so delicious. I then was just writing the rest of my journal entry for today and put that away, and I'm now off to go and watch today's Home and Away and UK soaps. I'm also going to be watching the first season of Heartstopper, which came out 3 years ago today. Can't believe it's been 3 years already. I'm really hoping to do a 4th season, and whilst watching that I'm going to be working on some new illustrations and using my new gel pens. I've got 60 colours to use, which is awesome. That's going to keep me busy, and I've almost finished that sketchbook. I'm going to be getting a new one later on in the week when I pop to WHS to get another one, and I hope you guys all have a lovely rest of your evening. I shall see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Wednesday, and I got up, showered and changed, and had some toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast. I just watched a bit of TV, listened to some music and having some bear cuddles, and he's getting so big, but I'm still able to pick him up at the moment, so I've been picking up and giving him lots of cuddles. And then I got myself ready to go off to the garden centre. I was going to walk off to Derby's, but I decided to go off to the garden centre at Almond Street instead. So I headed off there to get the bus to Almond Street Garden Centre. And whilst on my way up to the bus stop, I was listening to some music on my headphones. I then got to the bus stop, and the bus was taking forever to arrive, so I was thinking that I was just going to have to walk up to Derby's Garden Centre instead. But then the bus arrived, and I got the bus to Almond Street Garden Centre and made my way down there. as the bus stops off at the main road, and I walk down the country lane where the garden centre is, and crossing over the road to get to the country lane where the garden centre is. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking because cars just go so fast down there, and I managed to get across and get down to the garden centre. And of course, where the garden centre is, there's 3 main roads, so I had to look left, right, and get over the road and like look in all directions because cars again go very fast down there. And I do think they should have a zebra crossing just because it would be a lot safer. And I got to the garden centre, my happy place, and was having a look at all the homeware and stationery stuff and all the sweets and cakes and stuff like that they have there, and all the plushies. I love the plushie section, and had a look at all the plushies. And then I got some plant starts from the plant section that I'll show you guys. The plant section is huge, and I was having a good look around there. And I love all the plant displays and all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty plant pots and patterns on the plants and all the leaves. I then got some flower snaps, and I'll show you guys those. I was able to get some really pretty flower snaps. I love flower photography, all the lovely colours and patterns on all those flowers, especially that purple one with all those beautiful colours and patterns, and the sunflowers and the dahlias. I love dahlias so much, they're my favourite flowers, and I've got some from there that I'm going to be planting in my garden, and I just need to get some soil for those. And then I headed off to the cafe and had some lunch from there, and I had a tuna melt with lots of salad and a pot of tea, and also had a lemon and lime bit of cake, and it's so good. And I'll show you guys the lunch I had. The tuna melt was mwah, with the salad, and the coleslaw they do is so good. I had my pot of tea and my cake, and the cake was so pretty and was so good. I then got a snap of this flower print wall they had in the restaurant, and it's so pretty, and I'll show you guys that. I love all the prints they have up in the cafe. I then head off to have a look around more of the garden centre and got some more flower snaps, and I'll show you guys those. I was able to get so many flower snaps from the garden centre today. I just love all the flowers and blossoms appearing and all the lovely colours and patterns on the flowers. I then headed off back into the garden centre and just had a look around some more of the homeware and stationery section at some of the cups and crockery they had in there. And then I made way off to the bus stop to get the bus home, and the bus was taking a while to arrive, and it was getting quite dark and looked like it was going to rain. Luckily the rain held off and I got the bus back. I then popped to one of the shops on the way home to get myself a drink for work this evening, as I was supposed to be doing a 6 till close. I then got home and had got my uniform ready, and early on in the week I'd offered my evening shift to one of my colleagues who didn't have many hours, and they said how they were going to have to let me know as they had college and weren't sure if they were going to be back in time. And then they messaged me to say that they were back and that if I still wanted to, the shift could be hers. And I said no worries, like absolutely enjoy the hours. And I now have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, and I'm not until Friday evening doing a 6 till 10, and it means that I will be able to have an early night tonight because tomorrow I'm off to Bath for the day with my aunt and cousins who are over from Ireland, and they go back on Saturday I believe, and it's just been so lovely having them to stay. Can't believe how quick these past 2 weeks have gone, so I'm looking forward to that. Haven't been to Bath for a while. The last time I think I went was with my old sister, so I'm looking forward to going to the Weir and the cathedral and into all the cute shops and markets and all streets with all the lovely shops they have in there, and getting some nice photography from there. And then I have touch rugby in the evening, which is my first session back. It started back last week, but my older sister was over in Japan, so I decided to go back when she was back so we could go together. And so I'm looking forward to the first session back, and I've got the games night in the evening as well, so I'm going to have a busy day. And then on Friday morning it's my first morning group session back after being off for the Easter weekend and Good Friday, so I'm looking forward to that. And then I sorted out my jacket with my new Mount Fuji pin that my older sister got me for Japan, and put that on there, and I'll show you guys that. Here is my latest pin badge on my jacket. It's my Mount Fuji one that my older sister got for me from Japan, and I've got so many pins on my jacket now. It's getting quite a good collection. It looks so good. I've got so many pins on there now, bit of an addiction, but I just love those pins on my jacket. And then I was just watching some vlogs and TikToks. There's just some music and just doing some drawing, colouring in, and just tidying up my office and my dolls and dollhouse, and got my uniform for work put away and got my outfit ready for Bath tomorrow. I'm so bloody excited. And then for tea I had cottage pie, and I'm going to show you guys that. The cottage pie was so delicious. My dad was then back from fishing, and I was just watching some more episodes of Heartstopper season 1, and I'm so excited. Yesterday they announced on the 3rd year anniversary of the first season coming out that they are not doing a 4th season, but they're only going and doing a bloody movie for the last 2 books, and I'm so excited for that to be out, and I just can't wait for that to be out. They're apparently starting filming in the summer, and it's going to be so good. One big movie final little hurrah for such a beautiful and great series, and I'm just so excited for that. Couldn't believe it. I was thinking the other day, if they don't do a season 4, I wouldn't mind a movie, and then all of a sudden it was announced. I saw a TikTok about it, and I just can't wait. Just love Heartstopper so much, and I am now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching today's Home and Away and UK soaps. I shall see more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Thursday, and I got up early ready to go off to Bath with my aunt and cousins who are over from Ireland, and I had some cookie crisp for my breakfast. I just watched a bit of TV and listened to a bit of music, and I got a stamp of these tulips in the kitchen. I'll show you guys that. They're so beautiful. I love tulip season, all the tulips out and about. I then was getting myself ready to go off into Bath, and my mum was going to be picking up my aunt and cousins from my grandma, and then we were going to be going off to the train station. And just before heading off, I got this cute stamp of Bear. He's the cutest. I gave him a kiss just before heading off with my mum to get my aunt and cousins from my grandma's and heading off to the train station. And then me and my aunt and cousins headed off to get the train, and we had to get 2 trains to get into Bath. And we then got to Bath, and the first thing that we did was going to this massive toy shop, and I'm going to show you guys snaps I got from there. It was so amazing in there with all these things hanging from the ceilings. We had like hot air balloons, disco balls, these light up flowers, and it was just incredible, so much to see. And we're having a good look around there, and I went around some more of the shops, and my cousin got a snap of me by this phone box with plants in, and I'll show you guys that. Love that phone box with the plants in. They had a few like that dotted about the place. We then went off to see some of the sights, so we went to the Weir and to Bath Cathedral, and I just love all the beautiful cathedrals and the churches and the architecture and the statues they have around there. It's just so pretty, and I'll show you guys some snaps I got from there. Had a lovely look around there, and the sun came out and was such a lovely sunny day with beautiful blue skies. We then went off to this indoor marketplace, and I got a pick and mix from the pick and mix store they had there, and I've got quite a few, if you can see in there. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see quite a lot. It's not gonna, I'm not gonna be able to see, so I'm just gonna get some. I've got some shrimp banana, love shrimp banana, and some of these little like fishies, and some watermelon ones, so lots of different ones from there. And then we went off to have a look around some more of the shops, and then we went off to this cafe and had some lunch from there, and I had some French toast with some banana and maple syrup and a chai latte. And the cafe was really cool. It had some really cool artwork up in there, and I'll show you guys the lunch that I had and some stuff that I got from that cafe. The food in there was so good, and the vibe was so cool, and got some really cool snacks in there. And then me and my cousins went off to this cake shop just around the corner, and I got a snap in front of the archway. They had little flowers in the doorway, and also got a snap inside of the cakes and of the window display they had in there, and I'm sure you guys those snaps. It's so cute. I love the aesthetics and all the pastel colours. I was going to get a cake from there, but I didn't end up getting one from there in the end. And then after that, we had a look around some more of the shops, and I found a plant shop. And you know me, I love a flower or plant shop, so I had to go in there, and I got some plants from there. It was such a cool plant shop. There were plants everywhere, and I was able to get really pretty plants on there with such lovely patterns and colours on, and lovely coloured leaves and all the pretty plant pots, and I was having a lovely look around there. And then me and my aunt and my cousins went off to this cafe where you can have afternoon teas, which was used as the dress shop in Bridgerton, and it had the wisteria outside like in the show, and inside it had some memorabilia of the show. And we went in and had some drinks, and I had a bit of lemon drizzle and a cola, and I got some snacks of the outside and some of the stuff inside, and I'll show you guys those. It's so cool. I was going to get a tote bag of the shop from the show, but I didn't in the end. And then we had a look around some more of the shops, and I went off to this flower shop and got some flower sets from there. Such lovely flowers in there. It smelled so good, and was able to have a good look around there, and got a snap of the outside of the shop and some flower snaps from the inside of the shop. And then we went off to have a look around some other shops. I went into some of these vintage clothes shops, and went into Typo and into some sweet shops and some food shops, and just looked around at some of the cool stuff in some of the shops. And then me and my cousin went off to the Jane Austen exhibition, and when buying the tickets I accidentally said, can I have 2 tickets for the Jane Austen expedition? I meant to say exhibition, so I almost did it again. And so the lady on the ticket desk had a good chuckle. I was so sorry about that. And then we went in, and they were all dressed up in period clothing, like in Jane Austen time, which is awesome. And we had a little bit of a talk, a little bit of one through the history, and then we went down into the little exhibition bit, and we'll have a good look around there. And I got some snaps from that and shoot. We had a really good time at the exhibition, and it was just me and my cousin and her younger sister, my younger cousin, and my aunt went off and did some stuff separately. And then me and my cousin went off to go to the Royal Crescent, which is up this massive steep hill. But we got there and had a lovely time looking around there. And on the way there, I got a snap of this wooden box with some flowers in, with lovely flower artwork around it, and I'll show you guys that. So pretty. I then got a photo of the Royal Crescent and also the sign, and I'll show you guys those. It's such a pretty row of houses, and then we made our way back down the hill, and luckily it was easier coming down than going up. And then we met my aunt and cousin at the train station, and then we got a train back, and we had to get the 2 trains back. And before getting the last train back, we quickly stopped off at this little bakery in the train station and got some pasties, as I smelt them, and they smelled so good. And I had a cheese onion pasty, and I had my cola that I had got from the cafe and had that on the way back. And then we got home and got picked up by my dad, and then me and my dad dropped my aunts and cousins back to my grandma's, and I thanked them for a lovely day, and they go back home to Ireland on Saturday morning, early in the morning. So if I don't see them tomorrow, I wish them a lovely journey back and thank them for a lovely 2 weeks having them stay. It's gone so quickly. You know what they say, time flies when you're having fun. And then I got home and I was just chilling out, and I literally was so tired. I thought my legs were going to drop off. Done so much walking, and I was supposed to be going to touch rugby. It came back last week. I didn't go last week because my older sister wasn't back from Japan yet, and I didn't think I wasn't going to go because I didn't know how I'd be able to get there. And then today I didn't go because I was just so knackered after being in Bath, walking around all there. So I've decided I'm going to be going back next week instead. And I gave my younger sister some bookmarks I got from Jane Austen little gift shop at the end of the exhibition, and I got these ones here. So I got these ones. I also got these ones. I got another pair for my older sister. These are my older sister's. I was hoping to give them to her when we were going to touch rugby, but because she didn't go, I'll have to give them to her next time I see her. And I then got this for myself. I got myself this sticky note which has some Jane Austen quotes on, and you know how much I love my sticky notes, and I had to get this little reminder of Jane Austen exhibition, and it came in this really cute patterned little paper bag, and I kept a little program that we got given when doing the exhibition, and it's just such a lovely day. And then I ended up falling asleep, and my mum messaged me saying, "Are you going to games night this evening?" And I was like, "Oh my god." So I quickly got up and got myself ready to go off to games night, and I got dropped to games night by my mum, and I'd had to get some drinks for the games night, so I got some Fanta, some Sprite and some cherry cola. Bloody love cherry cola. Got to games night, and we were playing this game where you had to get 5 little counters in a row, and you had this massive mat with lots of like cards from a deck of cards, and you had to pick a card, put a card down, put the counter on which card you wanted, so like ace or like diamond or heart, and then you had to get 5 in a row, like either way, like zigzag, long, any way you could do it, and we were in teams, and that was quite fun. It was a little bit confusing at first, but I slowly started to get that. And then we had our tea, and we had some Hunter's chicken with some chips and corn on the cob, and then had some Toblerone cheesecake that our colleague Dave had made, and it was so good. And I'll show you guys the food that we had. I was well and truly stuffed after that. We then played some more games of the first game that we played, and then we played some games of Monopoly Bid, and I finally won a game of Monopoly Bid, and I had it all worked out, all the strategies, and I was like, there's no way I can lose this game now. And I was actually quite shocked when I won, because I barely ever win at Monopoly Bid, and yeah, it was just such a good night. I then got dropped back by Jamie's dad, and I got home, and I then was just telling my mum all about games night and also all about how Bath had been, and telling my younger sister as well about going to the cafe where they'd filmed Bridgerton. She's also a Bridgerton fan like myself, and I am now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching today's Home and Away and UK soaps, and I've got my first morning group session back tomorrow morning after being off over Good Friday and Easter weekend, so I'm looking forward to getting back to that, and I hope you guys all have a lovely rest of your evening. I shall see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Friday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely end to your week, almost a weekend. I got up ready to go off to morning group. It's the first session back after being off over Good Friday and Easter weekend, and I had some breakfast and just watched a bit of TV, and then my mum dropped me off to morning group, and we were doing some arts and crafts, and I love a bit of arts and crafts, doing some colouring in, and was doing a little bit of drawing and using some stickers on some of my illustrations, and I'm going to show you guys a snap of one of my new illustrations I did for that morning group. I really like how I added that flower on the hair of my illustration. It's so cute. We then had some cuts of tea and biscuits and just had a good natter, and I was telling them all about what I got up to this week, as I've had quite a busy week. I had a lot to catch them up on, and tell them all about Bath yesterday and the Easter afternoon tea on Monday, and going to Garden Centre on Wednesday. And yeah, it's been quite a busy week, and I then was just finishing off some colouring in, and I just love arts and crafts. I just find it so therapeutic, and the session went really quickly. You know what they say, time flies when you're having fun. It was then the end of the session, and I got picked up by my mum, and I got home, and I was just chilling for a little bit, and then I went off for a walk, and then I met my mum down at the Anchor just down the road from ours, as me, my mum, my grandma and my aunt and cousins were going to be having some lunch there as a last little catch up and meal with my aunt and cousins as they go back to Ireland tomorrow morning. It was the last time I was going to get to see them before they go off home, and it's been a lovely 2 weeks having them down to stay. It's gone so quickly, and I had a brie and bacon baguette. It was so delicious. I was so stuffed afterwards. I also had orange and passion fruit J2O. I love J2O so much. And then it was the end of our meal, and I hugged my aunt and cousins and invited them for a lovely time with them over, and then my mum and my grandma and my aunt and cousins went back to my grandma's house, and I then went on more of a walk, and I got some flower snaps. I had a lovely walk, and the sunshine came out and blue skies, and was able to get some really pretty flower snaps. That wisteria that I got a snap of, and thought it was that bit cool. It's just so beautiful. I love wisteria and that pink flower as well, and the tulips. I just love flower photography. It makes me so happy. I then got home, and my mum was back from being at my grandma's, and my dad was mowing the lawn out in the garden. I love the smell of fresh cut grass so much. I was then just having some cuddles with Bear, and he was very excitable, doing zoomies around the garden, bless him. And then my older sister popped in, and I was able to give her her birthday present I got from the Jane Austen exhibition in Bath yesterday, and I got her and my younger sister some Jane Austen themed bookmarks, as they both love to read, and the bookmarks are so pretty, and she really liked those. And she was getting her outfit ready to go off to Twickenham to watch the rugby, and they're dressing up as Where's Wally characters, so she was getting her outfit ready for that, and she looks great. And I got my uniform ready for work this evening. I'm doing a 6 till 10 it's me, Tash and one of our other colleagues, and I can't wait. I haven't worked with Tash in what feels like forever. Gonna have a great shift. It's date night, so it could be busy, but I know that we're going to smash it, and I'm now just going to be chilling before going off to work. I shall see you with more to vlog when I'm back. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at work. I'd worked 6 till 10, so I got myself ready for work and got dropped off to work by my older sister. I then got into work, got clocked in and put my bag away and got my drink that I got for work out to have while on shift. And it was me, Tash and one of our other colleagues, T, and we were quite busy. We had lots of people coming in for drinks. It was really sunny. I'm glad I wore my shorts because it was actually quite hot and it felt like summer, and we had quite a lot of people sitting inside as well as outside. Lots of people having cocktails, and T was doing all the cocktails. She's cocktail queen. She absolutely slays at the cocktails, and we were just doing some cleaning jobs that we could get done early, and I was running lots of food and drinks and doing some drink orders and drinks making, and then I was cleaning tables inside as well as outside, and so on, chatting to some of the regulars that come in, and then I was doing the restock and got that done. Also restocked and put the cakes away at the end of the night, and then I got to finish, and I finished about 10ish. I then clocked off and I got my bag and I got picked up and got home, and for my tea I had cheese toasty and a cup of tea and some biscuits. I had some bear cuddles with Bear, and he's getting so big, and he was very excited to see me when I got back from work. I then got my uniform ready for work tomorrow, and I'm doing a 10 till 5, and we've got 4 of us on shift, and it's a great team, and we're gonna absolutely slay. And I get a lunch break, so I'm looking forward to that. Not sure what I'm gonna have yet, and I might have a beef and chili or some pancakes. I'll probably decide tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to that. And then in the evening I am just going to be chilling, and my older brother and his girlfriend held a games night tonight. Unfortunately I couldn't go as I had to work, and my older sister and younger brother and his girlfriend were there. My younger sister didn't go as she had her mates over for a belated birthday celebration, and I hope they had a good time, and we'll have to go there for a games night another night. And I'm now off to go and watch today's Home and Away and UK soaps and finish writing my journal. I shall see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Saturday. I hope you guys are all having a lovely weekend so far. I got up early, ready to go off to work. I was doing 10 till 5. I had some breakfast and listened to a bit of music and just watched a bit of TV and was having some bear cuddles. I then got dropped to work, and I got to work a little bit early, so I popped to one of the flower shops and got some flower starts on there. Let me show you guys. They always have such lovely bouquets of flowers in there and lovely colours on those flowers. I then was having a lovely chat with the flower shopkeepers in there. I then got some plants that's on there, and I'll show you guys those. I love the plant section with all the plants hanging down from the windows. It's like a little jungle in there, and all the pretty plant pots and all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty patterns on the leaves. I then got to work and I got clocked in and put my bag away. I got my drink that I got from the shops to have while on shift, and it was me and 2 other colleagues to start with, and then Tash came in at 11 and she was on a split shift, and it was quite busy. There were lots of people sitting inside as well as outside, as it was lovely and sunny, and we were running lots of food and drinks and doing lots of food and drinks orders and drinks making. And I saw and chatted to some of the regulars, and we had quite a few of the regulars that come in on Saturdays and quite a few of our regular bookings, and so that kept us busy. And then I was supposed to be doing 10 till 5. I then ended up finishing at 3, so I was doing a 10 till 3, but by the time it got to like 2, it quieted down and it didn't need to be as many of us on, so I was sent home about 2:40ish, and Tash had finished as she was on a split, so was back in later on. and she was having some lunch out in the little courtyard area at a workplace, so I then clocked off, got my bag and joined her, and then we went off and I got myself a Greggs for my lunch and got me and her a cherry baked roll, muffin each, and I always save the cherry to last. I love cherries so much, and I just got myself an apple juice and a cheese onion bake from there. We then headed off to the high street where they had a market on, and we were looking around all the pretty little market stalls, and Tash got a bouquet or like deal, so each bunch would get some flowers sent to her, and it shows you illustrations of how to display them, which is really cool. I was going to get one but decided not to, and then we went off and looked inside the chai shop, and I got this t-shirt and it says "but what if it goes white," which I love. I don't normally like t-shirts with logos or whitey on, but I'm slowly getting there. Like, I've got a couple with whitey on. I just thought this was really cute, and you know what they say, pink to make the boys wink. We then went off to the pub and I had a cider black, and we were sat on the sofa area, and Tash got a snap of me on the sofa with my pint, and I'll show you guys that. Those sofas are so comfortable, and we just chilled in there for a little bit. Then she headed home as she was off back in to do the same part of her split shift at 6. So I gave her a hug and thanked her for a lovely shift and lovely time at the pub and at the high street. I then went off and looked at some more shops, and then I made my way home, and on the way back I bumped into my family friend, so I was having a chat with them. I then got home and I put my uniform in the wash and got my clean uniform ready for work tomorrow. I'm doing 10 till 5, and I then was listening to a bit of music and just doing some drawing and colouring in and reading some more of One Day, and then I was just tidying up my office and my dolls and dollhouse, and had a cup of tea and some biscuits. I just worked on some illustrations and console those in, and me and Tash are planning to go off to Armstrong Garden Centre on Monday. It's also payday, and also planning to get budgies, as I haven't had a budgies lunch in ages. I think the last time I had a budgies was with her actually, so we're going to be doing that as well, which is going to be so cool. And I feel like I haven't hung up with her outside of work in what feels like forever, so I'm looking forward to having a good catch up with her outside of work. And then for tea I had fish fingers. I haven't had fish fingers in so long, and it was so good. I then was just tidying up my dolls and dollhouse a little bit and sorting out my Bridget doll into a new look, and then we were watching The Hit List. It's such a great show, and me and my dad need to apply to go on there because I think we'd be so good at that show. And I'm now off to go and watch new Britain's Got Talent and also new Doctor Who, and I'm absolutely loving this new series of Doctor Who so far. It's so good, and I can't wait for the Eurovision one that they have got coming up. It looks amazing, and I'm just loving the companion Belinda and Doctor's friendship. They are reminding me a lot of Donna and the 10th Doctor, that kind of friendship. I love that, and the storylines have been so good, and tonight's episode looks amazing, and I'm just so excited to watch that, and I will see you with more on the vlog tomorrow. It's now Sunday. I hope you guys are all having a lovely Sunday rest. I got up early, waiting for work. I was doing 10 till 5. I had some breakfast, a little bit of music while I was getting ready for work, and then I was just watching a bit of TV and had some bear cuddles. He's getting so big, and he was led in the windowsill, spread out, enjoying the sun, having a bit of sunbathing, and he's just so cute. I then got dropped to work by my dad, got to work, put my bag away, and it was me and 2 other colleagues on shift. There was only 3 of us on shift, so I was a little bit nervous because if it was busy, I didn't think we were going to be able to manage. I thought we were going to get swallowed alive, but we absolutely slayed the shift. It was quite busy because it was really sunny. The weather's getting really nice again. It's supposed to be like 26, 27 degrees next week, which is insane. And I was wearing lots of food and drinks, doing lots of food and drinks making, made lots of milkshakes and smoothies, and was pouring lots of pints and doing some apple splits as well, and was cleaning lots of tables inside as well as outside. And then I was able to have a lunch break, so I had my lunch, and I had another one of those Sunday roast bat, secret bats we do which are so good. They're literally humongous, and I had that with a cola and sat on the high table 10, and had my headphones in whilst listening to some music and having that. And I'll show you guys the secret roast bat that I had. The secret roast bat was so delicious. I then finished off my cola and then turned my headphones off and put those in my bag. I then put my plate and glass away and then continued on with my shift, and I turned my alarm clock had gone off, so I can get off my break off. And then I was cleaning more tables, running more food and drinks, and doing some drinks making, and so on, chatted to some of the regulars, and was cleaning lots of tables outside as well as inside. I saw and chatted to some of our regulars who came in with their dog Hank, which is a boxer, and he's just so cute. He doesn't normally like men, but for some reason he just loves me, and his tail was waggling, so I was giving him a big fuss. And then one of our kitchen staff and his mum and their dogs came in, so I was giving them lots of fusses as well. And I love our restaurant being a dog friendly place. Some of the dogs you get in there are so cute. And I was telling them about Bear and his public classes, and two of the customers overheard and asked whereabouts they go to, and had to let my mum tell me, because I couldn't remember where it was that he goes to. So she let me know, so I then told them they might be taking their puppies there, which is awesome. And then it was the end of my shift, and I'm not in till Wednesday evening now, so I've got a few days off. And I clocked off and got changed to this t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, which I love. It's one of my favourite t-shirts. I then headed home, and on the way back I went off to another plant shops and got some plants out, so I'm going to show you guys. It's such a cute plant shop. I love all the pretty plant displays with all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty plants and all the lovely patterns on them. I then got home and I was listening to some music and just did some drawing and colouring in, and was doing some more of one day. And then my grandma was over for tea, and my mum was getting that ready, and it smelled so good. And I put my work clothes in the wash, and I then called Tash and was just telling her about my day, and she'd had a barbecue, so I was talking to her about that. And we're meeting up tomorrow after I get my hair cut and go to get my camera phone fixed and get a screen for that, because I need to get a phone case, because my new one is arriving in 2 weeks time and it's taking forever to arrive. So I'm going to get that whilst waiting for this new phone cover to arrive. And so I'm going to do that, and then we're going to be going to Chalet's to have some breakfast and go into the garden centre in Almond. And on the way back we're going to get a Butty's lunch, and then maybe go for a walk, maybe go to the castle. It's supposed to be lovely and sunny, so who knows, we'll see where the day takes us. But I can't wait to hang out with her, my bestie. Always have so much fun hanging out with her. And then I had my tea, and I'm going to show you guys that. The Sunday roast was so good. I then had a white chocolate magnum for my pudding, and white chocolate magnums are so good. They're probably my favourite type of magnum. And then I helped tidy away, and then my grandma stayed for a little bit and watched a bit of Antiques Roadshow, and then my dad dropped my grandma home, and I'm now off to go fish. So I did my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching some more episodes of Doctor Who. And last night's Doctor Who episode, The Well, was referenced and a little sequel to Midnight, which was the David Tennant Doctor Who episode, which I think is hugely underrated and one of my favourite episodes, and it was iconic. It's such a good episode, and I'm probably going to rewatch that one as well, and then have some of my Easter chocolate. I'm very surprised I've actually still got quite a lot of my Easter chocolate left, I know. And I hope you guys have all had a lovely week and weekend, and just see you with a new vlog coming very soon.